IGCSE Biology 0610, Paper 1, Variant 1, October, November 2024. Question number 1 to question number 20. And the first question is, in this question, they have shown a leaf on a plant in which the leaf is getting sunlight and getting carbon dioxide from the air through stomata, and the water from the soil is moving, and then simple sugars are manufactured in the leaf. Simple sugars formation takes place by the process of photosynthesis. So they have shown the process of photosynthesis. So which characteristic of life is represented by this diagram? They have shown photosynthesis. Excretion. Excretion is the removal of metabolic waste. So this is not the correct option. Nutrition. The plants gets nutrition by the process of photosynthesis. So B is the correct option. C is the respiration, during which the carbon dioxide is removed out of the plants, and sensitivity is another characteristic of plants, or which shows the different types of sensitivity. As for example, if we touch the plants, some of the plants, they are called as touch me not plants. So their flowers are closed or their leaves are curled inside. So these options are not the correct options. So only B is the correct option. And next question is, which description of a species is correct? A group of organisms that can reproduce to produce fertile offsprings. A group of organisms which are living at a place and they are producing with one another but not with the members of other species, and as a result of this reproduction they reproduce, they are fertile offsprings. So this is the compulsion that the organisms, when they organisms of the same species, when they reproduce with one another, so they produce a fertile offspring. So according to this, A is the correct option, and why B is not the correct? A group of animals then can produce genetically different offspring. So this is not the correct option. Genetically different organism will not produce by the same species. So a group of organisms living in the same area of the same times, in the same area, different species are living at a place, they can live at a place. So this is not the correct option. All of the populations and ecosystem, this is called as community. So again, this is not the correct option. A is the correct option. Now, next question is, the diagram shows a dolphin, and dolphins are mammals that live in the sea, which can correctly identify some of the features of dolphins. Mammals, you know, they have proper lungs for organs of gas exchange and produce milk. So mammals have mammary glands by which they produce milk. Secondly, they have lungs for gaseous exchange. So in these options, A is gills. No, fishes have gills. Mammals don't have gills. So this is not the correct option. B again, gills not correct option. So lungs, C or D can be the correct options. But here you can see the lungs produces milk. Mammals always produces milk. So D is the correct option. And question number 4 is, which structures are found in an animal cell? Cell membrane, yes, it is present. So A and B can be the correct option, because in C and D they have said no. Cell membrane is present both in animals and plants. So C and D are not the correct options. And we have to choose correct one from A and B. Cell wall is present in animal cell? No. Chloroplast? No. Large vacuole? No. Animal cells have many small vacuoles, not a single large vacuole. Cytoplasm, yes. Cytoplasm is present in both. Nucleus is present in both. So according to this, A is not the correct option. Only B is the correct option. Now question number 5. What is the function of ciliated cells in the bronchi? Bronchi, trachea. So all they have the ciliated cells which produce the mucus. And to absorb oxygen, no, their function is not the absorption because oxygen is only absorbed through the capillaries. So to digest pathogens, no, this is not the correct options. Digestion of pathogens is a process of phagocytosis. So to move mucus, to move mucus, yes, this is the correct option. That is, the movement of mucus in the upward direction takes place by the ciliated cells which are present in the bronchi, and to produce antibodies, the D option is the produce antibodies are produced by the white blood cells or lymphocytes. So only C is the correct option. Question number 6 is there. The diagram shows an organism called a copypod. The magnification of the diagram is 30. So the length of the XY is 45 millimeter. What is the actual length of the copypod? So the magnification formula of magnification is equal to drawing length over or image length, drawing length or image length. You can see, you can use the word image over here. Over actual length. And in this case, we have to find the actual length. So actual length is equal to image length over magnification. And in this case, you can see 45 is the length of the line. So this is 45 divided by magnification is 30. So we will divide 45 with, so it is 1.5 millimeter. Very simple. Actual length is equal to 1.5 millimeter. So A, C, and D are not the correct option. Only B is the correct option. Question 7. Some molecules move through a membrane during osmosis, which shows the molecules that move and the type of membrane. Molecules moving, oxygens move through partially permeable membrane, oxygen move the permeable membrane. Water move through partially permeable membrane by the process of osmosis. During osmosis, only the movement of water molecules takes place. Partially permeable membrane is compulsion. It is you can say the movement of water molecules from higher water potential towards the lower water potential through a partially permeable membrane. So C is the correct option. D, A, B, and D. Permeable means it allows all the molecules to pass through it. But permeability is not required. Only partially permeable is required, through which the only water molecules can pass. And next question is, what is a feature of active transport? Active transport, it requires energy for respiration. It involves the random movement of molecules. Substances are moved down a concentration gradient. Water is the only substance moved by this. It requires energy for respiration. During active transport, energy is required. Why energy is required? Because during active transport, the molecules move against the concentration gradient. So when they move against the concentration gradient, they need energy. So A is the correct option. B is not correct. It involves the random movement of molecules. Random movement of molecules takes place into the process of diffusion, in which the molecules can move in all directions. Substance are moved down a concentration gradient. Again, the down a concentration gradient is the movement of the molecules by the process of diffusion. So B and C are not correct, and D is not correct. Water is the only substance moved by this process. Water move by the process of osmosis. So active transport only requires the energy. Diffusion and osmosis do not require any energy. Which substance are made by linking together glucose molecules only? Glucose molecules are the monosaccharides, which will make up the disaccharides and polysaccharide molecules. So here in this case, you can see cellulose, glycogen, and starch. They are the products of glucose molecules. When they join together, and then they will make up the larger molecules or the polysaccharide molecules, which are cellulose, glycogen, and starch. So A is the correct option. And the second option is not correct. Fat, cellulose, and protein. Proteins and fats are not formed by glucose molecules. So B is not correct. In C, again, proteins and oils, they are not formed by the glucose molecules because all they are different. So starch, fats, and oils. Fats and oils again the same. So only A is the correct option in question number 9. Now question number 10. And question number 10 is 4 solutions were tested to see if they confined protein, starch, or glucose. So here the color of the solutions after the tests are recorded in the table. Which solution contained protein and glucose? Protein and glucose, not starch. Buret test is used to test the presence of proteins or to confirm the presence of proteins. Iodine test solution is used to find out the presence of starch, and Benedict solution is used to find out the presence of reducing sugar or glucose molecule. When protein is present, the color is changed. In protein is present, then the color is changed from blue to purple when we add burette solution. And on the other hand, when glucose is present and we make use of Benedict solution, the color is changed to uh, blue to yellow, green, green to yellow, and from yellow to orange, and the final color is brick red. So now we have to find out these two colors. In Buret test, it remained blue. It means protein is not present. Iodine solution, yellow brown, starch is not present. And starch is yellow brown, starch is not present. Benedict solution, brick red and brick red is present in A and C. So it means we have to find out which color. C. C. Purple is present in C and D as well. It is present, and so C is the correct option. Because according to the question, protein should be present. So the protein burette color is burette solution color is changed from blue to purple only in C, in D as well, but iodine solution should is not present. Starch is not present. So the color of iodine solution should remain yellowish brown, and on the other hand, the magnetic solution should be changed to brick red color. So C is the correct option. Which type of biological molecules are enzymes made up of? You know, the enzymes are made up of proteins. All enzymes are made up of proteins, but not all proteins are enzymes. So B is the correct option. So this is the definition of enzymes as well. That is, the all enzymes are made up of proteins, but not all proteins are made up of enzymes. Now the question is 12, and question 12 is, the diagram shows molecules involved in the action of a digestive enzyme. What is the substrate? You know, enzyme. Enzyme has active sites on which the substrate molecules are attached, and then there is the formation of enzyme substrate complex. So A shows the enzyme substrate complex. And you can see B is the enzyme, and C, sorry, I have written B is the substrate, and C is enzyme, and D is the product. Now we have to find out the what is the substrate. So B is the substrate. So B is the correct option. Question number 13. The graph shows how the activity of an enzyme varies with temperature. So they have shown a curve which is showing the on x-axis temperature and the rate of enzyme activity, which is in as the temperature is increasing, the rate of enzyme activity is also increasing, but you can see the optimum temperature is about 50, and after 50 the curve is declining, and at 60 it is ended. So what is the optimum temperature for this enzyme? So this is the optimum temperature, which is 50, and it is ending at 60. So D is the correct option. So D is the correct option. A, B, and C are not correct because they are showing the optimum temperature 30, 30, and 50. 50 is correct answer, but they have shown the completely denatured. When the enzyme is completely denatured, so the 60 degrees centigrade, the enzyme is completely denatured. Next question is, an experiment is set up as in shown. You can see small plant has been shown, water gauze is there, platform, test tube X has water plant inside, whereas test tube Y don't have, and green indicator is present in the at the base. So the green indicator will turn yellow when the carbon dioxide concentration increases. It means when the process of photosynthesis is not taking place. So at that time, the carbon dioxide concentration will be increases because when photosynthesis take place, the carbon dioxide gas is absorbed. The turns blue when the carbon dioxide concentration decreases. It means the process of photosynthesis will take place. So after several hours, the indicator in test tube X turned blue. Turned blue, it means the process of photosynthesis has been taking place because the small plant is there. So the indicator in test tube Y remained green. So it is not changing as uh, there is no carbon dioxide concentration because there is no plant inside. So which process caused the color change? Germination requires oxygen. Respiration takes place, carbon dioxide concentration will increase. So A is not the correct option. Only photosynthesis is the correct option in which the carbon dioxide is used by the plant for photosynthesis. Respiration, in which carbon dioxide is released. Transpiration, in water is evaporated through aerial parts of the plants. So only B is the correct option. Now, question number 15 is there. What is the description of transpiration? Now, few seconds back, I have told you that the evaporation of water vapors through aerial parts of the plants. So aerial parts which are above the ground level. So breakdown of nutrient molecules to release energy. This is respiration. The flow of energy through living organisms, that is the food chain or food web, or loss of water vapor, C is the correct option. The pressure of water inside cells pressing towards the cell wall. Now this is turgidity. So again, this is not correct option. Only C is the correct option. And during this, the osmotic pressure is produced. Next question, 16. The photomicrograph shows a cross section through a leaf. Which structure is the cuticle? Well, A is cuticle. If we see the transverse section or the cross section, cuticle. So this is cuticle and B is the palisade, mesophyll. D is xylem and C is the spongy mesophyll. So A is cuticle. What is lacking in the diet of a person with scurvy? Calcium cause softening of the bones. Iron cause anemia. Vitamin C cause the scurvy, which is the gum bleeding. So vitamin D, again, it causes the softening of bones and teeth. So the C is the correct option. Question number 18. And question number 18 is, what is the part of the small intestine? Anus, colon, and rectum. Large intestine. These three are the parts of large intestine. And you know the small intestine has three parts: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. So ileum is the correct option. C is the correct option. Question number 19. The diagram shows the apparatus used in an experiment to demonstrate the process that takes place in the body. They have shown dialysis tubing ends tightly sealed, which contains which will act as a partially permeable membrane, and inside it the mixture of saliva and starch solution. Saliva is used to digest the carbohydrates or the starch into glucose molecule. Starch is broken down into glucose molecule by the saliva, and saliva contain an enzyme. So after 1 hour, the water outside the dialysis tubing contain reducing sugar, because starch will break down the the help of saliva, which has an enzyme amylase, salivary amylase, which will break down the starch into glucose molecule. And then after the dialysis tubing, which two processes are represented? So digestion is taking place over here, and absorption. Absorption and egestion. Egestion is the removal of undigested material out of the body. Digestion and ingestion, again, ingestion is not correct. Ingestion, taking in of nutrients. So this is these B, C, D are not correct options. Only A is the correct option. Which row identifies the 4 types of human teeth shown? So I will go with them. They are, you can see, the larger one is this is molar. You can see the roots. They have roots more than 2, so they are molar only shown. So this one will be the 2 is incisor, because this, you can say, it is wider. So it is, and 1 is premolar, and this pointed teeth is canine. Incisors are used to take the bites, canines to tear the food, and 1 and 3 more premolar and molar are used for crushing and grinding. So they have the shapes just like this. So according to this, 1 is premolar. So premolar is in B and in D. So A and C are not correct option. And you can see premolar, incisor, molar, and canine. So B is the correct option. C is again not correct option, because on 2 there is incisor. So these are the question number 1 to 20. Please like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching.